Top of the hour. Larry Kudlow joins me. Larry, you were in the Trump administration. You know what goes on at these high-level confrontations. Biden doesn't project the image of strength that Mr. Trump did. Is that going to have consequences?
Well, it may. I mean, after the Afghanistan debacle, I think it's essential. And I speak as an American. These are American interests, and they're long-term interests. It's not just politics in the Biden administration. But this is a case where you have to project and show resolve, not concessions. Concessions will embolden Putin. I'll give you an example here. In 2017, Xi met with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and I was their first meeting, and it was a little dicey. Well, anyway, they had a lovely dinner, and right after dinner, they served President Trump's favorite chocolate cake, and while he and Xi and the rest of us were eating chocolate cake dessert, Trump ordered bombing of Syrian airfields to stop the criminal Assad from gassing his own people. Now, that's strength, okay? And Xi found out about that. That's called strength. Another point right now. Let's not get tied up in all kinds of diplomatic, stalling. On the floor of the Senate is a bill, an amendment to the National Defense Authorization. Biden should throw his support towards restoring the Nord Stream 2 sanctions. He ended that. It was a gift to Putin, a sign of weakness, a concession. Right now, he should restore that sanctions, and then, of course, raise the issue with Putin of much tougher sanctions, widespread, high value, sanctions on banking, sanctions on oligarchs, sanctions on trading, and so forth and so on. And, of course, too, why not make America the best energy independent? Instead of promoting Saudi and Russian drilling, why don't we promote American drilling? Because after all, that's the language that Russia understands. But that's their only basic source of revenue.
Yes, but you're suggesting that our president should be a little bit more aggressive to push hard on Putin. But he's not that kind of president. He doesn't come from that position of strength. He comes from a position of weakness. It will be very hard for him to project that strength and press hard on Putin.
Well, look, Stu, I don't want to prejudge it. As I said, the Afghanistan debacle really set American interests back. And again, at this point, going into this phone call, which is, in an hour or so, I want Biden to perform well. I want Biden to show strength and resolution and to make it very clear to Putin that the United States will take actions if Putin invades the Ukraine or fosters some kind of coup d'etat and so forth. Obama sat idly by and watched Russia take over Crimea. That was a huge mistake. So I want Biden, who is our president. Okay, politics should stop at the shoreline. I want him to be tough and resolute. I want him to show Putin what we, the United States, can and may and will do if Putin doesn't pull back. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Stu, 175,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. What is that? I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
It's an invasion
force. And by the way,
the
Chinese are listening and watching carefully, with respect to Taiwan and their other actions that are going on in that part of the world and elsewhere. So this is hugely important. And I'm just begging President Biden to show resolve, take some actions right away, and then put our best foot forward.
I just have to ask you about the new vaccine mandate being imposed by New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. It's draconian, it's extreme, I think it's ruinous. What say you?
You know, Stu, here's the really good news. It's Christmas time. He will be gone in a few weeks.
Yes, that's
true. He will be gone.
And the incoming mayor will probably cancel
probably
all of these
not
mandates.
do it.
Right.
I've spoken to Eric Adams. He has a much different view. De Blasio is probably the worst mayor in the history of New York City. And by the way, that's saying something. But he'll be gone in a couple of weeks, too. And you and I can wave our handkerchiefs. Bye-bye.
I'm glad you ended it on a positive note there, Larry, because that's exactly how we should do it. Larry Kudlow, you, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Kudlow, weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Business.